Welcome to the Digital Amateur Television Experimenters Night. This is VK7OTC, the club station of the Radio and Electronics Association of Southern Tasmania. Amateur radio is a worldwide hobby that has many different aspects. Digital television is just one of the many modes and areas that are covered. Maybe you're interested in becoming involved in the DATV Experimenters Nights. You realise that you do not have to be a radio amateur or need any ATV equipment to participate anywhere in the world. Also participate in the night by coming up to the Queen's Domain club rooms. Yes, right on top of the Queen's Domain in the heritage-listed Coast Wireless Station. You never know, we might get you in front of the camera or behind doing one of the many roles during the night. We get underway with our program on a Wednesday night from 7:30pm local time. We'll see you soon. This is VK7 OTC.
Okay, this is VK7OTC, the club station of the Radio and Electronics Association of Southern Tasmania, with our DATV Experimenters Night. And I have regular contributor Richard, VK7ZBX, who is very bright in the studio. I'm
really need a low-vis shirt.
Or I just need to be in a high-vis shirt as well.
Is that like camouflage, low-vis?
Oh, your other shirt, that's got camouflage, the green well-being shirt. That's
yes.
Quite good.
Yeah.
That's very good. Anyway, welcome, Richard. Now, just before we get underway, wish to acknowledge Tasmanian Aboriginal people as the traditional owners of the land upon which we're presenting tonight, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, for they hold the memories, the knowledge, the culture and hopes of Aboriginal Tasmania. So I've got Richard in the studio because right at the moment there is a ARISS, so Amateur Radio on the International Space Station slow scan television event.
Yes.
Now, I looked up what the event is.
Yes.
So it's a joint event it's the Apollo Soyuz 50th anniversary event, but it's also, and this is the one that confused me, STS-51F. Now, STS means it's shuttle.
Yep.
But I didn't know what 51F meant, and it's the 40th anniversary of the second SAREX flight. Now, the SAREX shuttle flights were to radar map the heights of the landscape in the world.
Okay, wow.
And in fact, there's a lot of models that use the SAREX models to do the height. Do the height. So they whizzed around the Earth with a radar pointed at the Earth and recorded the heights as they went round.
Okay.
So and there's an awful lot of models. I know Google Earth. If you look down, I think it's in the bottom right hand. I think it's the bottom right hand corner.
The models it uses.
Correct. The models it uses and the age of them and all of that sort of stuff in the history. So it's the 40th anniversary of that second SAREX flight. So and it's running from Monday, so July the 14th,
through to the 20th. Yep.
Through to Sunday this coming Sunday. So and I gather from what Steve says on here, it's a bit fluid around when it sort of starts and finishes.
They often, depending on what their work schedule is, because they might have to interrupt it to do stuff.
Yeah.
And I think in previous missions they've actually let it. Sometimes it's even gone an extra day or something.
Okay. Well, fantastic.
But yes, sadly we've sort of saw the two passes yesterday and today, and they must just continually rotate the images one after the other, like transmit number 1, number 2, number 3, up to number 12, and then just repeat. But because of the timing, because obviously it's just doing its orbit and the Earth's sort of rotating around underneath.
Yep.
You obviously get 4 like sort of passes, like a low one, a not so a higher one, a real high one, a not so high one, and a low one again.
Yep.
But it all appears. Steve and I have all got lots of 12s, lots of 1s, and lots of 2s. We haven't seen any of the others. I got half of a 10 today.
Okay.
But that's all we've seen. So I have sent a few emails to say, I don't know whether they can sort of mix it up a bit and have them a bit random, or
because by the sounds of it, they're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
They
8,
are,
9,
yeah.
and we just happen to be on the last.
Because it's like a 50% duty cycle, so they transmit for 120 seconds and then the rest for 120 seconds.
Okay.
So I think the timing is, like, you've got your normal timing issues where, when it comes over the horizon, you don't know whether it's transmitting. So one of today's passes, I got 3 good pictures because it came over the horizon, waited till it got to about 2 degrees and started.
Fantastic.
And I captured that picture, then I captured the next one.
Okay.
Then the next one came on and it just finished as it disappeared over the horizon. It was perfect. But that's pretty
pretty
unusual.
rare.
Yeah.
Now, what I'll do here, we've got some other stuff. Just ignore the right-hand side of the screen, but we focus on here. So you can drive in here. So this is for those who don't know, this is our Discord channel.
Yep.
So
So we scroll up. This was probably the last picture that I put up today.
that's really good. That's a great one.
Which is a full number 11.
Yeah, and no interference, noise bars.
I don't know
nothing.
whether there's some funky phase change or polarity change, but every now and again you can get a picture like that and it'll sit on S9 and it's perfect. And then other times you'll sit there and it'll just do a wicked deep fade where it'll fade down to nothing and then come back.
Yeah, okay.
And it's almost not reproducible. There's part of number 10. So as it came over, it had started, and of course,
Oh no, yeah. Just scroll past my joke there. Yeah.
What were those bits?
Oh no, that was the background cosmic radiation. I thought it was those 3 bits there.
Roger, yeah.
Because that's anyway.
So that's another number.
That's another 11.
So that was the first couple that I got. That was a number 12 and a number 1.
Okay. Excellent. We've gone to full screen, so they've finished doing what they're doing in there. So.
Okay.
And this is excellent because this is both the 50th anniversary and the 40th
and
anniversary.
the 40th anniversary. Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah. So they came out really quite nicely.
Now SAREX actually stands for something, and it's the Shuttle
Amateur Radio Experiment or something.
No, I think it's actually altitude radar experiment or something like that. SAREX, I think it's not sure. We'll look that up. We'll look it up. Someone might want to drop that in the chat. Oh, there we go. That's an excellent one.
Yeah, that was one of those deep fades where it just up and down for just a
split,
quick blink.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, I'm using left-hand circular polarity. Seems to be much better than right.
Oh, it's usually right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can see they're the same ones.
Yeah, we're getting the beginning and the end of the sequence.
So we're getting 12 and but look, it's always good. I don't know. I've sent a few emails to sort of various places.
Okay.
I've never got a response, but look, I don't know. There's obviously a method to their madness. I'm sure it's a meticulously planned.
Oh, and I suspect
operation.
it's all automated.
Yeah.
It'll go through. So you said it's 50% duty cycle. So it's using PD120.
20, yeah.
So it's 120 seconds
Yep.
for one image.
Yep. And then 120 seconds rest, and then 120 seconds again.
Okay. So fantastic. And it runs through until Sunday.
Till sort of early Monday morning. The passes, I think, first pass this morning was about 5 a.m. and then sort of...
Now, what we might do here is we'll just, if we go to ARISS, now they've changed this. They have actually changed this website.
For the awards. The galleries, okay.
Yeah, because all I was going to do, SSTV, is that... no.
You need another S.
I need another S in there. Excellent. Because this will show some of
the other pictures.
Others. Yeah. Oh, no, didn't want to do that. Just want to scroll down here a little bit. Yeah, because this is the
so
other.
That one's number 5. Is it number 5?
What's it say on the bottom?
Since 5 of 12.
Yeah, 5 of 12. Well and truly. There's a couple of others here where they've obviously they're doing the arm in the shuttle, sort of stuff, and the cruise. Now this is the site that you can upload
any of your photos and get an award.
Correct, and you can get a certificate, because there's a few people I follow on Instagram who are posting the certificates. They've already got their certificates. So
there is a guy too that does quite a cool like a Photoshop template.
Okay.
That's got the 12 blank spots, and it's got like the heading of the mission and da.
Okay.
And the slots in the template are the 320 by 400 or whatever images, and you just drag them out and plonk it on, and you can print out a nice certificate that's got, you know, the mission and the heading and all of the pictures. So.
Oh, very nice. Very nice indeed.
But yeah, so I've only got 3 of them so far. I think Steve said he might have got number 3, which I haven't seen.
Okay.
But I've been sort of trying. But look, I finally got my antenna system to track upside down, because I had the issue before that the stop was at south.
Yep.
And most of the passes obviously come in from the west and go through south and then go east.
Yep.
So I tinkered with the settings in SAT PC32, and this morning it decided to behave itself. Oh. And I went, start tracking, and it sort of went, go up to 180 degrees. I went, what's going on there? Oh. It's doing it.
It's actually doing it. Okay, right.
I don't know what sort of secret spells I uttered to make it work, but it worked.
Okay.
And it's great. And look, if the tracking software keeps it within, 5 degrees, and it's really, really good.
That's all you need. Well and truly.
70 centimetres is a whole different ballgame, though. My goodness, tracking those Russian ones. That's pretty hard work.
Okay.
The ARISS ones are good.
Fantastic. Thank you. And what we might do is I'll include a little segment next week, and we can compare pictures across, and we might get Steve into the studio as well. So that's excellent.
Steve picked up a couple of good ones where it was really low to the horizon, because I think he's got a quarter wave, so he's got good a 5/8 wave, so he's getting the stuff down to the horizon.
Sort of stuff. Yeah. But, that's one of the advantages with the Lindenblads.
Yeah.
Well and truly. So fantastic, Richard. That is excellent. Can I get you to find Murray and send him in with his impressive prints? So
sweet, I'll do that.
Thank you, Richard.
No worries.
Thank you, and good luck for the rest of the up until Sunday, and hopefully the other ones. Here he is.
Come on in.
Excellent. Cool. That is good. Okay. So just let me. Sorry, Murray. I just suddenly realised I don't have a chat up.
For the
which is now where is it? Where?
Just go straight to YouTube and search it.
I think I'll just go to YouTube. Sorry about this. YouTube, our channel. That's better. Sorry. So if you are putting in, there we go. And now.
Oh, look, people in the comments already.
Yeah. So I'll just give a shout out to Andy from the UK, Darren from Queensland. We got Matt MAT up in Launceston, Ken ZL4KD, and apologies Ken, I think I said ZL1KD at some stage last week. So they're all David VK7DBX. So hello David. And VK3IK, Ron RM, and Mark. Hello. Cool. Okay. No, that's all right. And drop your comments in there as and when you need them dropped in there. So now, the Trans-Tasman Low Band Contest. This is a WIA sponsored contest. It is 160, 80 and 40 on SSB and digital.
Yes. Although I think digital is limited to RTTY and CW, isn't it?
Oh, yes. CW, so CW digital, which includes PSK or RTTY only. So runs from 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturday, this coming Saturday, and there are 3 2-hour blocks in there, and the scoring is for those 2-hour blocks. So there is a reason why we've got 3 2-hour blocks, and I grabbed from the website. All contacts are worth 1 point, but you add the number of contacts made in a 2-hour block and multiplied by the different prefixes worked on each band in that 2-hour block. So there's a complicated little formula that goes on, and if you're using things like VKCL, it does it for you. Now, Murray, who is looking to operate in the Trans-Tasman, has a significant project going on right at the moment.
Feeling a little bit of like a fish out of water actually on this band.
This is 160 metres, so this
Yes.
this is what they call top band, which I actually don't know why they call it top band, but anyway.
Well, there's actually a very interesting story to that.
Okay.
Back when amateur radio started, they considered that was the highest frequency that would ever be useful to amateurs, and so they called it top band. I looked that up during the week.
I love it.
And I thought, okay.
Love it. Okay, yes.
Those guys would be surprised at some things we do these days.
Can I just say, back in the era of the equipment that's sitting here on the front of the desk that we're getting to later.
Yes.
Back in that era. So, what project have you been undertaking?
Right, so to that end, I need to get on 160 metres, which is a bit of an issue for me because I live, and there's a few issues for me. Some of them may be overcome, and some of them may not, but we won't know until we get an antenna in the air. So I'm building a short, top-loaded, with a top hat antenna, which Justin's very fond of this particular antenna. He's got one, and his works. So based on that, we're going to give it a go.
And I can't take any credit for this. I can take credit for the renewal.
No, I didn't say it was yours. I said you were fond of this antenna
Correct.
design.
Drew Diamond VK3XU. It featured in his volume number 3 of his projects for amateur radio. So I took that and I modernised a few pieces of it, and then did an article back in 2023, in June of 2023, about how I'd improved it.
So it is effectively a 6 metre or 6.5 metre mast that we have, which
vertical.
is available. Nothing too radical there.
No.
We have. I'm not sure if you've got the ability to display that.
Oh no, we literally.
Oh,
that's
excellent. So this is a very rough ground plane device.
I wouldn't call it very rough. I think it's pretty sexy actually. I think it's and it's aluminium, and it's aluminium welded. Can I just say, because I wonder who did that.
That is courtesy of.
That'll be our previous
guest, Richard ZBX.
So this is the ground plane, and how many of these are there?
There's 18 bolts on there. We've got 3 radials going each. There's 54 radials in all.
So now in the article, talk about the more radials, the lower the radiation angle.
The lower the radiation angle, and I'm not actually trying to achieve a low radiation angle.
Okay.
I'm just watched a lot of YouTube on people who have done vertical antennas with ground planes and how the amount of ground planes affects it.
Yep.
And the consensus seems to be that one needs at least 2 wavelengths worth of ground plane on the ground. So
Okay.
this only just achieves that. I think that gives them about 2.18
Okay.
wavelengths on the
Great,
ground,
great.
which at 160 metres is still a fair bit of wire.
Correct.
So that sits on the ground. The radials come out from that. Hoping that's not going to interrupt with your...
I'll hold it here.
This is the base of the antenna. The mast screws into there. There's a nice little insulated piece there and an end connector there, because everyone needs an end connector on HF.
Well, this is a X mil-spec antenna.
This screws into there for a RF connection to the ground plane.
I love it.
And then we put the mast on the top, and on top of the mast, the 6.5 metre mast, we have a loading coil. I don't know how well you can see that loading coil, but
Yeah.
this is...
We're in high definition now.
Oh, good. So this loading coil, I'd like to take the credit for this, but really I think my input was limited to a couple of hours sitting with Ken,
VK7KRJ, yes.
who
was here earlier.
and 3D printed this former for me, and actually rolled the copper on. Because while I was at Richard's place making the base plate, the print finished, so he took it off and put it in his lathe and spun this copper on. And by the time I got there, he was just putting the last little piece through this hole here. And look, the design was 117 microhenries, and this comes out at 114.2 on the gauge. So I think it'll be
perfect.
I think, what did you say last week? Everything's close enough at 160 metres?
Correct.
So,
You just have to then play with the...
so we'll just tune it with the top hat. Now, I don't know about the top hat. It's 3 wires according to the design.
Yep.
And we will certainly do that to start with.
Yep.
And tune it up and see what it looks like.
Yep.
But Rich and I have got aspirations. Rich is building one of these as well.
I can show you. There is a picture here that we can... okay. Let me...
How's it going to look better than that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. This is in my backyard, so just...
To be fair, yours is weatherised so that it can stay out. This is going to be a temporary weekend.
I put a PVC. There's a 100 mil PVC pipe with 2 end caps on there.
This is going to be very retro, copper out in the wild.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Oh, now did you bring the piece of the broken one in?
Oh.
Can you go and grab it? Because I think that is definitely worth a look. That's the ground in this particular photo. There are stays in the original design. The stays also formed part of the capacitive hat. Now I separated those out because I had problems where I kept breaking the capacitive hat. So I separated it out. The capacitive hat wires just sit along the stays with some cable ties on them, and they sit there with gravity. So I
believe this is printed at 10% fill, or Ken said when
10%.
Yeah.
10% fill.
So you can probably see
now
there.
we can probably
look at
yeah. This is the you can see, there we go.
Yeah. So there's a spiral groove printed in the outside of it for the wire to go in.
And then that's what 10% fill looks like in 3D printing terms. So
very strong, very light.
Incredibly strong, actually. In just off the show strong. And in fact, can we? There's a no, can't quite see it. But there's a little lip inside here, so the aluminium tube that goes in here only goes a certain distance. And there's even a 3mm screw hole that goes all the way through
to lock it onto the mast, stop it turning.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
No, 3D printing's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
And that is now. What's the material?
Well, it's just PLA.
PLA.
Or PLA Plus, or whatever it's called.
Yep. Okay. So PLA plus, that's the one that can withstand heat without distorting. That's what I learned from our 3D printing night.
Right, okay.
Because if you...
How much heat?
Well, as much heat as you get in a locked car, because one of the examples that was given was things that were printed with PLA in a car actually melted,
And
distorted.
Distorted, yeah, okay.
So now, so 40 to 50 degrees C is the sort of temperatures you get in the middle of summer.
Yep.
So probably higher than that. That's why you don't leave children in there. Oh, what just happened then? We lost our multiple page thingo up on our monitor screen. Anyway, don't worry. Things going on. So yeah. Now I'm interested in exploring the issue, the unique issue that you have.
So before we go into that,
yes,
I found these lovely little things at Bunnings. They're actually turf pins for putting artificial turf down, and I've got a DX Commander which I take portable.
Okay.
The Expeditioner model with the short squid pole. And one of the problems I have is getting the ground radials unrolled and sitting out in a nice flat fashion. So I bought some of these, and they're just turf pins. So I'm going to try and use those, push them into the lawn, and hopefully hold the ends of the wires.
That's a bit better. And there's a finger.
Yeah.
For size.
So they should go in and out pretty easy for a portable thing. Now, the problem the reason I spoke about earlier that this may all be a big fail is I live about 2.4 kilometres from an AM broadcast station.
The main AM broadcast station in Hobart.
Yes. And I did make some notes here just so that I didn't forget it. So we've got a main carrier on one frequency of 936 at 10 kilowatts. So a second harmonic on 1872. Which is very close to our hopefully operating frequency of like 1860 to 1840. And we have 585 also at 10 kilohertz. So a third harmonic is at 1755, which is just below that. So, look, maybe maybe I'll do a report on this and go, hey, my 991's a super radio, or it's a complete fail. And I won't be surprised if it's a complete fail, to be honest. But I have to give it a go. And it'll only be a complete fail at home. I can still take this portable. It's a very easy to assemble.
Well and truly.
And I suspect, as with the DX Commander, most of the time is spent untangling the ground radials.
Can I just say yes?
Yeah.
And I have cardboard formers for all my ground radials that I wind them onto. And can I just say that was an abject fail when it's pouring with rain.
Right.
But anyway.
Perhaps core flute?
Perhaps core flute would be much better. And there's probably a lot of core flute about to become available.
No, they throw it all away because it's got proprietary stuff printed on it.
No.
You got hold of some, did you? Oh, you're in the inner circle. Sure.
Hence my comment. There's about a lot to becoming available.
Sure. And for those wondering what we're talking about, we have a state election on Saturday, so there's a lot of leftover advertising.
And ain't we happy that it's happening on Saturday? It's
not really, no.
Anyway.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Good. Okay.
Even the room full of experts out here earlier suggested that perhaps I rearrange the ground radials so that they're not symmetrical in composition and don't put any ground radials towards the broadcast station. So I might just try that.
That will be fascinating. I will look forward to hearing about that.
I think the theory is you get directionality away from in whatever direction you've got the ground plane. So
surely.
I still think I'm doubtful that'll make any difference given the incredible field strength being generated at such close proximity, but we'll see.
Okay.
I have a filter for 80 metres and above,
which
gets that 936 down to, at 936,
I
dial in 936, it's down to about S9, which is very effective.
Okay.
Like very happy with that.
That's
but
good.
Obviously, I have to bypass it for this.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Okay. Well, that's excellent. Fantastic, Murray. And I look forward to hearing the result. And I look forward to making contacts with you on Saturday night.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
And if it's a success, we'll leave it up for the RD contest as well.
Oh, well and truly.
But,
Get some good marks for the RD contest on 160.
yes.
The same as microwave bands.
Oh, yes. Yes, top band is extra points, isn't
And
it?
especially overnight.
Indeed.
So, thank you, Murray.
All right. Oh, right.
That
Should
is-
leave you to it.
Excellent. Now, that's not your charger, is it? That's Hayden's charger. No, that's Hayden's. Now, talking about Hayden, Hayden dropped in just a moment ago. He has a range of merchandising. So Ham Radio DX, I'm doing a little Ham Radio DX promo here. Bunch of merchandising. Fantastic T-shirt, which is, of course, the radio. The optimal number of radios is N+1. So this is one of the T-shirts that's available from Ham Radio DX website. There is, of course, the Ham Radio 73. That's another one. Fantastic. And there is a Pota goat and a Sota goat. Now, the Sota has a different picture, I think, from memory. Has a different picture. There is also one which is slightly tongue-in-cheek around ham radio erections take two people, and I think there's a picture of a tower and a few other things there. So if you're interested in a bit of fun on a T-shirt, then please head off to Ham Radio DX website, and you'll be able to order them from there, and they'll be sent out to you. So I do like the one. The optimal number of radios is N+1. Absolutely love it. Fantastic. So now, yes, it was Darren. In answer to your question, it was published in Amateur Radio Magazine, Volume 91, Number 6. Which I think is the June or the July version, but it was published in there. It is a short vertical antenna for 160 metre band, and I go through. We did also do a whole lot of ground plane testing up here at the domain, which I documented, and that's included in the article. We did prove the theory that more ground plane radials give you a progressively lower radiation angle, which is what the theory says. If you go, I've got a little chart here. With no ground plane radials, you get an effective radiation for a vertical of about 25.1 degrees. If you go down to say 32, that 25 comes down to 18.6. Then if you go to 256 radials, it comes down to 9.6 degrees, which makes it a excellent DX antenna. So Murray's comment about more radials is spot on. The more radials you want to put in there, the lower your radiation angle is going to be, and the more effective your antenna is going to be for DX. So Darren, Amateur Radio Magazine, Volume 91, Number 6 in 2023 was where that article appeared. And of course, the Drew Diamond books, which are still available from the WIA website. There is Drew Diamond's 1, 2, 3 and 4 amateur radio projects books. Fantastic books. I've built quite a number of Drew Diamond's designs. They all work, and they are fantastically well documented. So do yourself a favour. Now, I've got a bit of I'm giving you a bit of a preparation for next week. We've got a bit of a special DATV night next week, where we are getting we'll have a special guest in the studio, and a special guest who donated to the cause very old telegraphy relay. So this is Morse code. This is sounder Morse code. And I'll go into what I mean by that in a minute. He donated to the cause a telegraphy relay, which I have built a replica telegraphy setup. Now, when I built the telegraphy setup, it had the relay, it had a period key, Morse code key, and the sounder. I didn't have a Morse code sounder relay. And I put out the call, and a couple of days ago, one of our club members came and said, I've got all of this telegraphy equipment and I would like to sell it. Well, included in the telegraphy equipment was a Morse code sounder. Now, I'll just... So, what a Morse code sounder looks like is this. It is effectively a relay. You can see there is an arm here that you can see the coils here. There's two coils, one on each side, and then there is an arm that gets magnetically pulled down. And the reason it's a sounder is it has metal feet which bolt onto a hood that amplifies the noise, and you can hear. So it's a little bit different to what we do with Morse code in amateur radio, because what you're listening for is the distance between the taps to indicate a dot and a dash instead of it being a tone. So this is what they call a Morse code sounder. This is the missing bit that I've got in my replica. So thank you very much to Richard VK7RO who very graciously sold this to me so I can finish the replica. And the replica we're going to have in the studio with Darren, another Darren, and he is going to tell us about the use of the telegraphy relay, the provenance of the telegraphy relay, because it came from the PMG, the Postmaster General's department, and take us through a little bit of early telegraphy. So some of the other bits and pieces I just thought I'd go through before we do the next week's. Richard also, and this is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love this. This is a early milliamp meter. Now, it's a bidirectional milliamp meter, so it normally sits in the middle. There we go, in the middle, and it has a scale that goes from -70 to +70. So if you had a bidirectional relay, which I'll go into in a sec, you would see this pointer go from one direction to another depending on which way that signal was going. Now, the interesting thing that Richard told me, which is absolutely fascinating, he had a telegraphist who was put me on to an ex-PMG technician. Sorry, I'm reading this. And he told me that the normal line current for the telegraphy line between Burnie and Smithton, so that's Burnie on the northwest coast, and then Smithton's way up in the top corner of the northwest coast, was 40 milliamps. So you would have seen the scale go to 40 milliamps here. But he then said when it was raining, it went up to 80 milliamps. So absolutely fascinating. So you would have seen it clicking away at up to 80 milliamps when it was raining, and it does rain a fair bit on the west coast and the northwest coast. So Richard makes the comment here, I guess it was lucky that on the Adelaide-Darwin line it was usually sunny and dry, so the current wouldn't have changed very much at all. So yeah. Now, the other thing that Richard showed me, and you can see actually before I do that, I'll just turn this over, because there is a beautiful, this is so well made. This is all. It'll be double coated cotton, copper wire. So this is before enameling. They coated everything with probably silk or cotton to give the insulation. And you can see on both sides there is a coil on one side and then another series of coils on the other side for both sides of to get the meter to move in both directions. Absolutely phenomenal. And a little cover that goes on the back. But yeah, that's the telegraphy milliamp meter. Beautiful piece of equipment. Now the other thing that Richard, and this is quite special. This one. This is what they refer to as a British Post Office pattern, very sensitive polarized relay. Now what a polarized relay does, it's used for duplex working on telegraphy lines. And what this means is actually very similar to how the meter works. You have a 0 point, and you have the ability for the relay to go in one direction, come back to that center point, and then go in the other direction. And it was used so that two people could actually operate in two different directions on the same line, and it was called duplex operation. And they needed a duplex polarized relay. So, and this is a duplex polarized relay. A beautiful piece of equipment. The ability to adjust the fine adjustment on the relay. All of the terminals. In fact, you can't. Let me see. You can see all the way around the sides. There's the adjustment, the knurled knob for the adjustment. And there are a whole lot of terminals which I've got to do a whole lot of research on to find out how it's connected and where it's connected. You can see the PMG stamp up here, PMG with the government broad arrow, and there's a serial number on it. So what's that? 3476. 3476. Is that what I'm seeing? Yes. So anyway, and I'll go into this in a bit more detail in a couple of DATV nights time. But anyway, a duplex, this is a very sensitive polarized relay used for duplex working, i.e. sending in both directions at the same time. So that's the telegraphy, and I just want to point out that next week we have Dennis in the studio with our replica telegraphy arrangement, and he'll take us through the provenance of the relay and how the relay was used, etc. So yeah, and a huge thank you to Richard VK7RO. Now, the interesting thing, Richard also pointed me in the direction of the types of batteries that they used to use for telegraphy lines. And there is, he pointed me in the direction of Monsieur Caloud, who produced a gravity cell. Now, a gravity cell, I have to look this up because I don't know what a gravity cell is, but it is, if I transition across here. So what a gravity cell looked like was, you had a negative terminal of zinc here. You had a positive terminal of copper. So this is a copper arrangement. You had some copper sulfate in here, and it produced copper sulfate solution. And this was the electrolyte in here was originally, when you start off, is distilled water. But of course, as the copper sulfate dissolves, it becomes copper sulfate solution, and then it becomes zinc sulfate solution in here once you start passing current through it. And you can see there is a definite little line that goes around here. And they talked about, when I read about the battery, the operator could tell how much charge was in the battery by the line between the copper sulfate solution and the zinc sulfate solution would move, and the operator knew that they had to get a new battery or do a charge on the battery. I don't know whether you can charge this battery or you change the solution out and you start with fresh copper sulfate, but that's a Collard gravity battery, and they ended up becoming known for being quite robust batteries. They were easy to service. In fact, I was thinking about this today. You could make one of these batteries yourself, because you can get the zinc bars, which they use as sacrificial anodes on boats. So you can get a zinc bar, a pure zinc bar from a chandlery, a ship chandlery, and then what you could then use is get some copper wire. And use the copper wire as the bottom. Copper sulfate solution is available from most hardware stores, because copper sulfate solution is used to put down drains to clear for roots and bits and pieces. So you've got your copper sulfate, and then you just need some distilled water, and you've got yourself a Collard gravity battery. So that might be a bit of an experiment we can do in a future DATV night. So there you go. Now, let me, if we go to okay, here we go. I thought we'd finish off with the latest AR magazine. Now, the latest AR magazine, this is the latest AR magazine. Now, the latest AR magazine, this is volume 93, number 3, 2025. So we've got volume 93, number 3, 2025. So we've got volume 93, number 2025. So we've got volume 93, number 2025. So we've got volume 93, number 2025. So we're going to still have the same problem. Oh no, okay. So there's an article in here around the WIA's FISO. Now, response. There's an article in here around FISO is the ACMA's 5-year spectrum plan. This is what they plan to do work on over the next 5 years, and everybody's got input into that process. The WIA makes a submission each year in relation to the work that we would like the ACMA to do for the amateur radio service. So this is about their submission to FISO for the Apollo radio service. So this is about their the next article is FISO. What's come from the pictures on the cover, which is all about auroras and what auroras are. The solar cycle, which is solar activity. There's some what auroras are. Comes from Brett Carter, who's Associate Professor of RMIT, and Elizabeth Comes who is a space physicist Brett Carter with NASA, so two knowledgeable people who wrote this. Talks all about what creates auroras, and then goes into a little bit of auroral scatter here. And I did notice this particular picture has those signals emanating from VK7 MO resonance. So I thought that was quite good. Our connection with the sun, our connection with obviously propagation and the ionosphere, the ionisation of that layer. Lots of great pictures from Dave Scott, VK0JDS, or VK2JDS, when he's lots of great pictures from Dave Scott in Australia. Dave was always a regular at Gibbs Tech. So I caught up with Dave quite Australia. Now the next article is by yours truly, and he's a little article I put together on WAJT is by yours truly, and my argument about the WSJT has democratised the airwaves. It's got more people into amateur radio than probably most applications and modes out there. So it's a little bit of an expose of WSJT and WSJT-X and all of the modes that are available under those applications. And it goes through a few of my arguments and my hypothesis of why I think this has opened up amateur radio more than anything else. This Joe Taylor, the creator, has opened up. He's a Nobel physics recipient. He's applied some of his learnings from being an astrophysicist to the WSJT application. So I think amateur radio is better for it. So anyway, that's a little article. There's a book review there. War Diaries on Stalemate. So anyway, that's a little article. There's a book review there. Warfare. The annual awards for AR Magazine, which have gone to Jenny Watt up there and Bruce Bathel. The annual awards for AR Magazine for a couple of the articles and a few other and Bruce Bathel Gary Gibson, who is VK2B DBN right at the moment, did a fantastic article on Gary Gibson, who is VK2B DBN right at the moment, and there's Andrew Anderson VK3CV with his fantastic millimetre wave projects, the 241 to 250, fantastic, our top band millimetre wave top band projects, some great projects that are available in there. There is some great projects that are available in there. There is some great projects that are available in there. There is some great projects that are available in there. There is some great projects that are available in there. Okay. There is lots of echoes on the audio. Okay. I know. Now that's a bit better. No, that's not a bit better. Let me. Thanks, Ron. Now that's a bit better. No, that's not a bit better. That's a bit better. Now, how's that? I think that might be a little bit better there. We've actually turned off the. That'll be even better. Okay. Sorry for the echoes. It was also coming in through the microphone on the notebook. So that should be a bit better. Let me know, Ron, if that's a little bit better. Now, so little article on the historic QSL Bureau by Fred Swainston. And who's our WA historic QSL Bureau curator, and there's some fascinating QSL cards in there, quite historic QSL cards. Great little construction article by Dale Hughes, VK1DSH. This is a 1913 regenerative receiver, 2-valve regenerative receiver that he's made. He's resurrected a design from a bygone era and goes into a little bit of the history of regenerative receivers. Hang on, still lots of echoes. Sorry, still lots of. No, okay. Let me go to. Just bear with me. Need to mute your YouTube tab. Oh, okay. There we go. How's that? Is that better? Just let me know. Good now? Good now. That's better. Yes, got the thumbs up. Oh, there you go. We got there eventually. So let me go back here. So great little project, regenerative receiver that Dale's come up with. what happens when you hit push to talk? Now, if you want to go into the James Clerk Maxwell equations of what happens when you push your push to talk button all the way through from the transmission to the receiver, this is by Dr. George Galanis, VK3 EIP, that's correct, and goes in depth into what actually happens from your transmitter to your receiver. So absolutely in-depth article if you want to jump into that rabbit hole. What actually happens to those electrons and those charges as it travels through the atmosphere, and some of the historic experiments that went on to discover what actually happens. There's some fairly scary mathematics in there, but if you want to dive in, so the next article by Trevor Benton, VK4AFL. This is receiving signals from the Deep Space Network spacecraft. So we're talking Voyager and all sorts of deep space, very, very weak signal. This is ultra weak signal microwave reception using amateur equipment. So he talks about where a lot of those spacecraft are and the sort of equipment and frequencies and levels that you need to actually be using to receive those areas that are so far away. Bit of WIA news, and then I think that might be. Oh no, okay. Chris Flack, VK5CF, Charlie Foxtrot. A simple Armstrong rotatable dipole for 10 and 12 meter bands. So really simple to make and put together. And the Armstrong method refers to it is manually turned with your arm, hopefully your strong arm. But really easy. The cost all up, I spent around $160 for the materials, and he absolutely wraps it up. So there you go. Now, 2024 DX leaderboard is in there. The newcomers notebook, and lovely job by Jules Perrin, VK3JFP. And I absolutely love this title. An antenna tuning unit does not tune the antenna. It matches your antenna. Doesn't tune your antenna. It matches your antenna. Matches your antenna to your transmitter. I love it. So it goes into what an antenna matching an antenna matching unit, or an antenna coupling unit actually does, and all the different types that are available on the market, and the benefits and disbenefits of each of them. So yeah, great little article. Alec Cherry, VK2MV. Now, Alec I met at Bendigo at the WIA AGM. Fantastic young guy. And this is the below 25 column that he writes each AR magazine. Fantastic work. And there's a picture here at the end. This is his brother. So this is Alan Cherry, VK2KOW, cow, love it, who was wandering around the Tech Fest interviewing people with his little audio recorder, and he had a great t-shirt on, which was the WIA National News Media t-shirt. Absolutely love it. I actually took a photo of him doing that. It was just priceless. So now, bit of contesting, the WIA contest champion results for 2024, and the key thing here is number 2 on this list is Peter Dodd, VK7KPC, who is now VK5KDO. On 5th there is VK7ZBX, and in 8th there is VK7DW. So VK7 appears pretty well in that list for 2024. The Alara list, and I'll just point out here, there is a wonderful article which is highlighting Shirley, VK7HSC, who is sadly silent key these days. Great photo of her there at Patton Park at the Scout Camp, which she used to support during JOTA. So great article commemorating Shirley. And I think that might be... Oh, Spectrum Horizons. So, great article in here, which we'll go into in a bit more depth. There is a lightning scatter context that the VK4s did. In fact, yeah, here we go. This is, you can see VK4FB to VK4UV, and there is a storm with lightning in the middle that they were bouncing and scattering signals off of on a range of frequencies. So fantastic, and that also appears in Jubis, which we'll feature in a couple of weeks' time. So there you go. West News and WIODX awards at the end, and then over to you. So anyway, that's our our amateur radio magazine quick review. And apologies for the echoes. You got two for the price of one. Hi. So, space weather. We're not going into space weather today because there isn't very much at all. Things have been quite settled as opposed to a couple of weeks ago when there were some events and the sun was throwing all sorts of things at us. So, just a reminder, we have a Standard Advanced and Regulations Assessment Day at the end of July. That is the 26th of July here, and we also already have, I think, four or five people who are booked for that particular session. So that's coming up. Our next foundation training day is on the 30th of August. So put that into your diary if you're thinking about doing foundation license. And a quick reminder, how are we going for time? Okay, we're right on time. So Wednesday, August the 6th. So our next presentation night is Andrew Johns with his Antarctic Diary recollections. Not his Antarctic Diary, his father's Antarctic Diary. His father was VK0 DJ, VK1 DJ and VK7 DJ. And he, in the geophysical year back in 1957, wrote a diary when he went down to Mawson, and absolutely fantastic recollections about life in Antarctica in the late 1950s. August the 13th is our favourite digital mode forum. We jump to September the 3rd. We've got a presentation on chasing weather balloons with VK700, TCP and SH. And then on September the 10th, how to get the most from your nano VNA. One of the things that came out in the Essential Shack toolkit was everybody owns a nano VNA except maybe Rex. But there are many people who don't know how to get the most out of it, so we are going to do a session on that as well. So yeah, that's what's coming up in the not too distant future. This has been VK7OTC, the club station of the Radio and Electronics Association of Southern Tasmania, with our DATV Experimenters Night, and we bid you farewell. Now, just let me. Oh, he grabs the mouse. Wrong mouse. Oh, very good, Bronson. We now know how Justin's wife feels when he starts to talk about radio. Oh, very good. Okay, I like that. I'll pay that. So, not a problem at all. We'll catch you next week. We've got 3 DATV nights this month because there's 5 Wednesday nights in July. The calendar's given us 5, so there's 3 DATV nights. So, special night next week, telegraphy, and we've got a special guest in the studio. So we'll see you then. 73, have a fantastic week, and we'll catch you next time around. Cheers.